Hello and welcome to the Prog Analyst. Today we're going to be talking about the Porcupine Tree song, The Start of Something Beautiful. I haven't transcribed the whole song note for note, but I transcribed important rhythmic, melodic, and harmonic parts for us to break apart. I uploaded an introductory video to the channel that explains how these videos are going to work, so if you haven't seen that yet, I recommend you check it out. The link is in the description. In these first two measures here, I've written the bass line and drum groove during the verses of the song. The verses are in 9/8 time, and it's a little unclear how these 9 notes are divided, but I hear it divided into 4, 3, and 2. The reason why I think of the rhythm this way is because looking at the bass part, these first 4 beats have notes on the beat, this set of 3 has syncopated notes, and the last 2 beats go back to notes on the beat. The 4 notes in the bass line are all centered around A minor, and the harmony won't change at all during the verses, all the verses will be over this A minor riff. Gavin Harrison is known for his creative rhythms, and experimentation on how he places them on the drum set. This groove is a great example of an undeniably unique Gavin Harrison drum part. Look how the rhythm of the bass drum and snare lines up with the rhythm of the bass. The snare hit on the 4th, 8th note to line up with the bass note here in particular sticks out to me because it supports this note so strongly and immediately establishes that this has no connection to a regular backbeat you'd expect most rock drummers to draw inspiration from. Going into the verse, we have this first lyrical phrase which starts on that 4th beat as well. It's a very important beat in the song. We also hear an F-sharp melody note, which tells us that this section of the song is in A Dorian. The melodic phrases here are only about a measure long, but exist over the course of 2 measures, allowing plenty of space between phrases and helping to create this empty and contemplative atmosphere that is reflected in the lyrics and the arrangement so far. Let's break down the structure of the melody in this verse. The first line sounds like this. This is our first melodic motif, so we'll call this our A phrase. The next phrase sounds like this. It starts the same as our first phrase, but it has a slight rhythmic change and more noticeably a change in notes here as well. We'll call this variation of our first phrase A prime. Next we have a completely different phrase that uses different notes in a slightly different range with an entirely different rhythm. Look how it superimposes this set of 3/16 notes over our 9/8 groove. Each different color here is a different set of 3/16 notes. This phrase, which we'll call our B phrase, breaks the norm of our previous 2 phrases and makes us yearn for some sort of return to our A phrases, which we get with another A prime to conclude the verse. Our pre-chorus changes to 5/8 time, and the harmony here gets a little unconventional. Stephen Wilson on guitar moves through a series of 3-note chords that do not relate at all to A Dorian or A minor. I think the effect of the harmony in this section is to create this illogical, dissonant series of chords to create discomfort in the listener, until we get to this B flat chord anyways. When we land on this 4th and final chord, since it's only been a few measures since we were last in A Dorian for an entire 2 minutes of the song, we're still longing for a return to the A minor chord. This B flat chord moves us there by being the flat 2 major chord in A minor, borrowed from the Phrygian mode that pulls us down chromatically to settle into A minor in the chorus. The harmony in this section might look a little random, but it instrumentally accomplishes the goal of a pre-chorus, to create a sense of anticipation and build-up that ultimately makes the chorus hit even harder. Now we get to the chorus, where we are in A minor rather than A Dorian. You can tell because of this F major chord. In fact, all the chords here are diatonic to A minor. I think the coolest thing about the chorus is the melodic phrase right here. Look familiar? That's because the main melodic phrase of the chorus is nearly identical to the B phrase from the verse. It has the same notes and the rhythm is nearly identical to how it was in the verse, it's just changed slightly to fit the 5/8 time signature instead of the 9/8, but it still has this pattern of 3/16. I think this is an amazing idea to foreshadow the chorus in the verse. Like the verse, the phrasing structure of the chorus is AABA, so let's look at our odd phrase out in the chorus, our B phrase. We still get this idea of groupings of 3 in the melody, but now the pattern is 3/8 notes long rather than 16ths. These groups have an increased melodic range, starting on the note G and moving down the A minor pentatonic scale in groups of 4 notes, rather than the 2 note sets we saw in the previous phrase. Also look at how the drums change, at least in the first chorus, to highlight and sync up with this new melodic rhythm. The rhythm and the drums of the melody are identical in this measure. And then we go back to the A phrase of our chorus again to finish it off. Now the guitar solo is all over the 9/8 A minor riff. Everything that you see here is over A minor. The solo feels spacey for a number of reasons, perhaps most obvious is the effects on the guitar sound. I think the inconsistency of the rhythm of the solo helps as well. There are a lot of long notes and notes sustained over the bar line, but I also think it's interesting to look at the melodic tension Stephen Wilson uses in this section. Every note I highlighted in red is a tension note that lasts for a quarter note or longer. I didn't include the shorter ones because those are more passing tones. I also highlighted the G, the flat 7, in green because although it's not always considered a tension, it still creates a bit of dissonance here. All of these tension notes give the solo a very floaty feel, and he uses them and lingers on them a lot. Lastly, I transcribed 2 other instrumental sections. The first is in 9/8, the second is in 5/8, but both are over the same chords as the chorus. This section happens around the time 4:45, with the guitar part coming in at 5:12. And this one happens at 6 minutes, 6 seconds. There isn't too much to say about either of these sections, it's just nice that they reuse the same harmonic and rhythmic material as earlier in the song, even for their instrumental parts, to help the cohesion of the song when there are new melodies in the guitar. In fact, I would say the cohesion of this song is one of the things that makes it so impressive. Whether it's the way they use the same melodic material in the verse and chorus, the repeated use of the groupings of 3 against the 9/8 or 5/8 time signatures, or the rhythmic motifs and chord progressions that recur throughout the song. That's my complete breakdown of The Start of Something Beautiful by Porcupine Tree. Thank you for watching. If you learned something new or enjoyed the video, please like it and share with anyone else who might be interested. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else about this song you enjoy or find interesting I might not have mentioned. If you want to see more of these videos, please subscribe as well. If you have any suggestions of prog rock songs you want to see an analysis video of, leave those in the comments as well. The next video will be about the Rush song Distant Early Warning. Thanks again!